What's up, everybody? My name is Key Air, and you are watching the important things that really matter. Today's subject, we're going to be talking about, will your job be taken by AI? Will your job be taken by AI? Now, when I'm talking about AI, I'm also talking about automation too. So before we get into it, would you please like? Would you please share? Would you please subscribe? Because I'm trying to get this channel to grow. I'm providing some extremely good information that will help you in business, and not only in business, but many other sectors also too. And this video here is extremely important for you to go all the way through, because this will affect you. It has already affected you, and you probably don't even realize it has affected you. And we're going to go into that. So please like, please share, please subscribe. And let's get into it. Will your job be taken by AI? So once again, when I'm talking about AI, I'm also talking about automation. Now, I had a relative of mine that lived down in Atlanta. The relative of mine that lived down in Atlanta had told me that he was kind of concerned about his wife. And I said, well, why are you concerned about your wife? He was telling me he was concerned about his wife because his wife was supposedly going to be losing her job at the first of the year. And this was several years ago. I said, okay, what does that do to? Well, basically in a nutshell, what they did was they put these automated tellers in. She had worked at Walmart, and they had put all these self-serve cashiers in place. You know, those self-serve cashiers that you see in the grocery stores now, the self-serve cashiers that you see in places like pharmaceuticals like CVS, other stores. So each one of those automated or self-serve cashier machines will eliminate a minimum of 2 people, and will probably eliminate more than 2 people. And so now, I'm quite sure you're very familiar with those automated cashiers, which basically is self-serve. My relative was nervous that his wife was going to lose her job because of these machines. And so a lot of people have lost these jobs. And each one of these machines will replace 2 or more people. So this is how this automation has replaced people. A lot of times you will go into like a Walmart or a Target or one of these other type of big box stores. They may have anywhere from 10. They may have 10 cashiers. They may have 15 different cashiers, different lines, okay? And because after they done put in the automated self-serve cashiers, they went from having 10 or 15 cashiers on these different lines, to maybe 2 physical cashiers. And the 2 physical cashiers will tell the other people to go to the self-serve. The self-serve is the automated cashiers. Well, you see they went from 10 or 15 cashiers down to 2 and telling everybody to go to the self-serve. Well, you see how many jobs were eliminated by the self-serve machines. Okay, so without you realizing that you've been affected by this and may not have even realized it. So each one of these machines replaced 2 or more people. So what else am I saying? The same relative of mine, he was telling me about what was happening in the banking industry down there in Atlanta. I said, what is happening in the banking industry down in Atlanta? He said, man, you go into these banks, all they got is 2 people in the bank. I'm like, what? He said, all they have is 2 people in the bank. One person in the bank is a security guard. The other person in the bank is a bank representative. I said, well, who's handling all the transactions? He said, all the teller machines that's in there. I was like, what? He said, all of the teller machines that are in there. You got whole walls you have whole walls full of teller machines, ATMs, automatic teller machines in place. That is replacing all of the human beings that used to be the tellers. And so, like he said, there are only 2 people in the bank, a security guard and 1 bank representative. So I asked him, I said, dude, man, so if you want a loan, who do you get a loan from? And he said, oh, well, if you want a loan, you have to go to this other location where you can talk to a physical human being about getting a loan. He said, but the other banks, those other banks have the automated tellers, and you're only going to have only two people in the bank. Like I said, the security guard and one of the bank representatives. And the rest and everything else that's in that bank is nothing but teller machines. I'm like, golly, are you serious? So not too long after he told me that, I happened to go into one of the banks up here in the north. One of the banks in Michigan. I'm not even going to mention which bank it is. I happened to go to one of the banks here in Michigan. And when I walked in the bank, and I'm looking at all of these teller machines. I'm like, teller machine after teller machine after teller machine. And I'm like, this guy was right. There's only like two people in here. It was one security guard and one bank representative. Now, this was several years ago. So all these teller machines have replaced all these human beings. And it kind of reminded me of the movie The Matrix. And there was a scene in one of the Matrix movies where Neo, one of the main characters, was flying in the air in this machine, and then his, I guess, some type of anti-gravity machine crashed into Machine City. Man, when I was in that bank with all those automated teller machines, I was in Machine City, and those machines replaced all of those human beings. This is how serious this is going to get. This is extremely serious, and this will extremely affect you. I've seen recently that they were supposed to be having almost a fully automated fast food place. One of the very, very main, well-known fast food places, I think it was McDonald's, was supposed to be having a automated or almost fully automated McDonald's in, I think it was in Texas. I know in Michigan, there was supposedly one or two that were almost fully automated or almost fully automated. So I heard about this at least several years ago. Well, now they're talking more and more about these automated McDonald's, and they're popping up more and more. One of the things that I want to tell you that's extremely important is once they work all of the bugs out of this automated McDonald's, you better believe that other fast food industries are going to be trying to use a whole lot of automation also, which means a whole lot of jobs are going to be eliminated. Who are the people that worked in these McDonald's jobs and other fast food jobs? The people that worked in these jobs were the people who were in middle school or high school. And these were the first jobs that these kids had. These were their first jobs, working at McDonald's or some other fast food place. And these jobs were not only for middle school students and high school students, but also to elderly people. There were older people that would go and work at McDonald's too to make some extra money. So once they work all of the bugs out of McDonald's and some of these other fast food places that they're trying to automate fully, it's going to eliminate all of these jobs, all of the jobs that used to be available, the starter jobs for the middle school students and the high school students and the grandparents that may decide they want to pick up some hours or working at McDonald's. Many of these jobs eventually are going to be eliminated, just like many of the jobs that are in the banking industry, the tellers, are being eliminated. So this affects you tremendously. There used to be a point in time when you went to go apply for a loan, and they used to tell you, oh, it'll be a week to 2 weeks for us to give you an answer about the loan. Now they can give you an answer about whether your loan was approved or not in 3 days. May be able to give you an answer in 1 day, whether your loan was approved or not. Do you know why they went from a week to 2 weeks to 1 to 3 days? Well, the reason why is because a lot of the banking system are now using artificial intelligence programs that are determining whether you're going to be able to pay the loan back or not based upon your credit history and based upon a bunch of other things. They're able to do these things a whole lot faster. So all the people that used to be involved in approving your loan, many of those jobs are going to be eliminated. Okay? This is very, very scary. It's very, very scary. The other day I was looking at an artist, and this artist was extremely concerned about artificial intelligence. He was extremely concerned about artificial intelligence because artificial intelligence is now painting. Artificial intelligence is now drawing. Artificial intelligence is now doing graphics work. Do you follow what I'm saying? They are now doing graphics work. And this one particular artist was very concerned, kind of pissed off, because he found out that for artificial intelligence to be able to draw or paint or any other things along those particular lines, you have to first feed it with information. And what this artist was concerned about was he found out they were taking some of his artwork, much of his artwork, without his permission, and feeding that artwork into the computer. By feeding all of his work into the computer was now able to draw or paint or do graphic arts work based upon the information that they put in from his work and other artists' works. The artificial intelligence is now taking over voiceover work. You have artificial intelligence right now, they have programs right now where all you got to do is feed the tracks in for the different pieces of music that you want into the system, and the artificial intelligence program will mix the CD for you, mix the music for you, and to my understanding, it will do the mastering for you too. So now what has happened is now artificial intelligence is about to knock out a lot of the studio engineers